back to Cask 529. I'm Brian.
And I'm Shona.
Tonight, I've set up a little blind for Shona. Obviously, it's not a double blind. She can see what we're having. But I thought I would set her up with a blind comparing some 10-year bourbons that we have.
I'm pretty excited about this. When I walked down here and seen this lineup, because I can tell you, and you probably can tell from the amount of bourbon that's out of each of these bottles, that we really like all of these.
We do, and I'll add to that, okay? And that is the Tincup. I've heard a lot of negative reviews about it. I personally really liked it when we got it. However, it is lower proof. It's only 84 proof. And like I said, when we got it, I really did like it because I feel it drinks a little more than 84 proof. It's probably drinks up in the 90s to me. However, since I've got this bottle, our proof point has increased tremendously. So I don't know. I'm anxious to see how it does today. The Russell's Reserve, obviously we've enjoyed it.
Several of those.
Yes, and that's at least our second bottle of that. The Widow Jane 10-year, I'm anxious to see how it compares because again, that's our second bottle, and when we first started into bourbon, we really liked that. I feel like we kind of got away.
91 proof.
I feel like we got away from it because it just didn't appeal anymore to us.
We'd gotten so many others.
Yeah, but I thought we'd put it in this lineup of 10 years and we'll see how it compares. And who knows? I don't know where any of them are going to stack up for us, really. And of course the Eagle Rare, everybody wants Eagle Rare. So
I would say Eagle Rare is the hardest to find. It's the only one that's allocated in this lineup, correct?
We did struggle to find this.
But you can find it.
Yeah, you don't find a lot of it when you find it generally, at least not in our area. But I have found it since. The Eagle Rare. Now I've heard down south, like in Georgia, I was just reading the other day on one of the bourbon pages I follow. A lot of the liquor stores have that sitting on the shelf when you walk into them. So not the case here. No. You have to go wait in line to get Eagle Rare in Ohio.
But we're only paying
retail
MSRP for it.
That's correct. Yeah. Yes. So that's what we've got set up. Is these four.
Right.
And they are in a random order. So we'll see what we think.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Yes,
We'll start with number 1 on the left.
This one has a really sweet nose.
It does.
Lots of caramel and vanilla coming through.
I feel like I get a little bit of spice on the nose, but primarily sweet.
Yeah. Almost smells a little bit like honeysuckle.
Very, very mild. That's a pleasant. It's almost like you're not drinking alcohol.
No, that one's really good.
Definitely sweet when it first hit the palate. Very, very, very slight notes of undertones of spice. A little bit of oak, but even the oak is not very prominent in there. I'd say caramel.
I was actually getting ready to say caramel, and it's almost an apple fruit taste to me. Not like a tart apple, but like a sweet caramel apple.
I can get that.
With a little bit of cinnamon spice at the end.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It is. It is. It's, again, I don't know what that's going to be, but...
Wow. This one has a really good nose too. It's more of a creamy nose, almost like a vanilla ice cream. nose. Not a lot of caramel in it, but more vanilla.
It's funny because that was creamy to me on the palate.
It is creamy. However, I was waiting on that vanilla ice cream to enter my palate, and that's not what entered. It was very oaky. This is a very woody
Yeah.
bourbon. It finishes with a hint of caramel, a hint of vanilla, and some sweetness. It finishes with a sweetness.
And I get the oak that you mentioned. What I don't get is I don't get spice.
No, no spice.
Like I don't get any heat really at all on that one. Very creamy though.
Yeah, that one's nice. I'm a woodsy, oaky type of bourbon and wine drinker, so it's such a contrast from one, because one was so sweet, and then to go to it, if I was just drinking this, I probably wouldn't notice it so much, but it's
on the
so
finish,
different.
on my second sip on the finish, I kind of actually got a little bit of just a real slight hint of like a Fireball, candy Fireball, if you remember.
Yeah.
But it would be like just as that piece of candy starts to heat up, when you first open it, it's not hot at all, but it reminded me of that.
Yeah, I didn't get that, nor did I get like the spice, the cinnamon spice or anything. I just got more of the wood. But your palate may be taking it different than mine. Number 3. See, this one has the least favorite nose so far. It's sweet, but it does, compared to 1 and 2, it doesn't have like a bolder nose it's just kind of there.
It's sweet, but it's nothing that doesn't present anything really to me.
I have the oak and the char, a lot of char on this one, for me. Getting
But
a little bit of vanilla.
Much? I'm not getting much really.
I'm searching for it. I'm anxious to go back the other way because I'm afraid that this one had such a overbearing wood on it for me that maybe I'm not picking up.
I get some maple syrup on the start of that. It's really, really creamy to me. I get hints of oak, but like you said, I think number 2 had so much that
It's like a sweetness, but with a heavy char for me. And
it's pleasant to drink. It's
Yes.
not harsh at all. It just wasn't a lot there to me initially.
right, and that's why I'm worried number 2. So I'm anxious, kind of go back the other way to see if it's different. Because honestly, I don't remember any of these tasting like that one in the
Yeah,
past,
I don't.
but-
That doesn't have a place to me.
It's not bad. It's just not there.
And I'm bad, honestly. It's only been 30 or 35 minutes since I set this up. I think I remember what one of them is.
You think? Well, good news, and I'm usually not in these shoes unless somebody else does the pouring for us. I'm completely blind on these, and I honestly, to me, the proof points have all been relatively the same.
They are really. They're all.
Eagle Rare is 90.
I think you're
Widow
91.
Jane was 91. Russell's
90.
is 90. Wow.
And 84.
And 84. Okay, so they're all, I mean, besides the 84, I mean, they're all relatively close. So that makes sense because I wasn't pulling any.
Yeah, there's not. They should all be relatively similar as far as anything that route.
This nose, I mean, it's nice. It's kind of like number 3 for me, though. It's sweet, a little bit of sweetness, but it's just there. I'm not picking up a whole lot on the nose. Not a bad nose, though. I mean, just like number 3, it wasn't a bad nose. It's just I'm not picking up a whole lot.
No, it's just. It hides whatever it's got on the palate. It's hiding on the nose. It's not really. That to me has a lot of brown sugar on the start.
I completely agree with you. And then you get the caramel, and then you get some vanilla. It's a kind of a lingering finish.
Yeah, I got a creamy to it, but not till after the brown sugar. Like it didn't really develop right away for me.
It's more the darker brown sugar with a little bit of char.
Yeah, that would be an accurate. Boy, they're just all. One did not really stand out to me.
Actually, one did stand out to me.
Number 1 stood out to you.
Number 2 really stood out because that was the overbearing wood oak one. I'm at this moment before we go back through. I would say number 1's definitely my favorite, but just got to go back through.
Yeah, I'll have to really concentrate going back through.
This is honestly a good lineup, though. We haven't done a lot of lower proofs here lately, so it's a nice change.
Gives our palate a break.
It does. Gives our livers a break a little bit too, maybe. But good for lower proof. You can still pick out some flavor points in these.
Yeah, there's flavor there.
And for 10-year bourbons, you're definitely picking up more of the char and the oak in these. I was hoping for 10 years maybe pick out some more, but I found that lower proof, as we've been learning more and more about it, you're not going to get that with the lower proofs.
No.
We need to go higher proofs to get
all
more of
those,
that flavor
to get all
profiles.
those things, yeah. I'm still anxious to see where this ranks for us. It's going to be interesting because they all were so similar going through the first time.
They were. Oh, let's go start with 4.
Back with 4.
We'll try to.
I got a little bit of char initially on that.
Again, I'm picking up the brown sugar, like the charred brown sugar, almost like maybe when you were melting butter and brown sugar, it got a little toasty. And then again, the caramel and vanilla. It's a nice pour. It is. It's not what I'd say.
I wouldn't dump any of them out.
Right. Now, the nose on number 3 for me, this time around, I'm picking up a little bit more. Number 4 I did not, but I'm getting more of that caramel and vanilla on number 3 now, which is a nice, yeah, it's a nice nose. Picking up a hint of char. It's not as much char on it as I thought it was on number 3. Sweeter. Vanillas, caramels. Nice. That one's really nice, honestly. I like number 3. It's mellow. It's just a good little sipping. Bourbon.
I've not ever met much alcohol, though, that you didn't like, honestly.
There is. Remember Buffalo Trace?
I said much, not much.
Still a very, very nice nose on number 2. Again, heavy wood. But I like it. I love, Bryan always says when he's drinking any type of my wine, it's like chewing on the oak barrel itself. So I really do like this one.
Yes, what you said is accurate. I do say that. However, that same oak flavor in bourbon, to me, is much more appealing than it is in wine and grape juice. That's just, to me, that's just.
Can you tell my work it's just grape juice so I can have it all day long?
Listen, I know you and millions and millions of other people love that about wine. That is just disgusting to me, though. That oak, oh.
But you love it in bourbon.
I know. I don't understand it.
All right, number 1. And then we'll line it up. Sweet nose. I would say number 2 is my favorite nose. If I was judging just by nose, number 2 would be my favorite nose. It's funny because I really like number 1. It stood out to me going the other way. Coming back the other way, to me, it's just kind of almost watery tasting. It's kind of bland. But I didn't feel that way going that way, the other way.
Yeah. What was your first taste going the other way?
Right. I'm still picking up that caramel apple taste. With some cinnamon and stuff, but it's more, I'm almost going to guess this is the lowest proof one, but that I could be completely wrong. But
I honestly don't remember.
if you are ready for me to line these up,
Yep.
I am probably going to do 2. I'm going to do 2, 3, 1, 4.
I've got 2, 1, 4, 3. So we're close. So we will start with, we'll do your
We're
line.
not really close.
What'd you say?
I got 2.
Oh, yeah, you're
Then-
right.
yeah.
I thought you said 2, 3.
Number 2 is both our numbers 1s though, so
Yeah.
let's see what number 2 is.
Let's see what we got. Number 2 is
Widow Jane.
Widow Jane. So that actually came in first place for both of us.
Nice. Nice.
So then you've got number 3,
Yes.
which is the Tin Cup.
Oh,
For me, that came last.
okay.
Then you go to number 1, which is the Russells. And then for you, the Eagle Rare came last.
And Eagle Rare has won for me in other blinds. Like
It has,
last year,
yeah.
it won for me.
Yeah, it's
So,
just what you stack them up against
right.
where they come in, you know. And so for me, mine was Widow Jane, Russell's, Eagle Rare, and the Tin Cup.
Gotcha. All right. So, obviously, we like Widow Jane.
All of them, though, guys, are really great pours.
They are.
The Eagle Rare, chances are my bet's going to be you'll have a hard time getting it. However, for us, as we've mentioned in the past, we're only about 3 hours from Buffalo Trace. So, got a pretty good bet if we can go down there for a few days, we're going to be able to get a couple bottles of Eagle Rare. Because you're allowed one each.
Right. And I will say, I'm kind of disappointed Russell's came in third for me, only because I drink a lot of Russell's, and I normally do not. I know, it's funny because at first I said it was my pick, like it stood out to me.
Yep.
But then coming back, it was more watery, and probably because this has such a bold, woodsy taste.
Yeah, it's...
And so I'm kind of shocked that Russell's came in third for me, is what I'm saying. Because I do enjoy Russell's.
Well, obviously we do. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not much left in the bottle. And Widow Jane, I'm kind of impressed to see that it has came back for both of us.
Yes.
But again, it's this lineup.
Yep.
That's where it scored in this lineup.
Right. So obviously, if you can't find Eagle Rare, there's much better 10 years, in our opinion.
Yes. Yes, because for you, Eagle Rare was last, right?
Yeah, it was.
So these two definitely.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you can find a tin cup, if you want to try it, I don't know if I would do the tin cup the straight. I would get the 10-year.
Yeah, before I bought the 10-year, I did a lot of reading and research, and the straight, I guess the straight bourbon, it's the blue label.
With the silver cap in it.
It just it didn't score very well for people. People didn't have a lot of good things to say, and they said if you're going to invest in Tin Cup, go to at least a 10-year.
Yeah.
There is also, I believe, a 14-year.
Yes.
I've never seen it other than online, and there's a rye. And I've not seen it, but I know they exist.
Yeah. So,
But I
they're
like
worth
the
it, try
10-year. I
something.
mean, it's you know, it came in last for me today. But oftentimes when we're down here, you know, I'll grab a pour of it. It's just a nice, easy drinker if you're wanting something light.
And those of my friends who watch this and know me, they know I carry a corkscrew and with me at all times. And so with Tin Cup, you have your glass with you at all times.
Yeah, you've always
So,
got a.
Hey, you have to be prepared.
You've always got your tin cup, so if you just carry the bottle, you're ready to go.
I'm joking. No, I do. I actually always have a corkscrew.
She does. Not a joke.
I've saved weddings before. True story.
I know. I was there. Okay, guys. So hit that like button, share us, drop us a comment if you like, and hit the subscribe button. Share us with all your friends. We're inching closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark, where we're going to have some kind of crazy giveaway.
Yep.
It'll be, I don't know
Ohio.
what,
It'll
but
be
I
all
know that
Ohio.
it'll be all Ohio. Is that
Yep.
what you've decided?
Yep. This weekend,
Okay.
we have our granddaughter's birthday party on Saturday. However, Saturday late afternoon or Sunday, we are going to go hit some Ohio distilleries.
I think we're going to get into High Bank in the daylight.
We've been doing High Bank. We are
Okay.
able to get it. Maybe we'll stop there, but we'll also go to some other ones.
There are others.
We are hooked on High Bank, though.
Yeah, High Bank
That's
is
true story.
High Bank is ranks really high for us.
Yeah, it's really good. So
We've
you will
got,
definitely be seeing a High Bank in our giveaway for a
Yes.
1,000 subscriber giveaway.
and you won't be disappointed.
No.
Definitely not. So, okay, guys. So that's all we've got for tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show, and until next time, be safe, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.